Welcome back to News Geelong. Where there's a will, there's a way. So spoke Geelong-based engineering researcher Frank Will after receiving the Society of Automotive Engineers Australasia Gold Award for his invention that demonstrates fuel consumption savings of more than 7%. Debbie Meaney reports.
Frank Will from Deakin University has come up with a great invention to assist with carbon emissions and fuel consumption. I spoke with him here at Deakin University to tell us about his invention and the award that he's received from it.
I've developed a simple modification to an engine system that reduces fuel consumption and emissions and consists of three simple components. One is a bypass that increases the heat transfer and separates the heat losses in the oil sump. And it also includes a valve which reduces the pressure, like going downhill, and a heat exchanger which utilizes some of the wasted heat in the exhaust. This award was given from SAE Australasia, which is the Society of Automotive Engineers in Australasia. And they do an annual award where mostly established companies apply for. There were participants, entries from Holden, Robert Bosch, and others, and so it's quite prestigious awards. It's probably the most important automotive related award in Australia.
And what actually a percentage emission reduction do you think that this will end up with here?
Yeah, emissions reduction so far we tested up to 27% reductions in emissions and over 7% improvements in fuel consumption.
Well, that's incredible. That's just, yeah, we really need to get these in the cars. Is there any time frame of when this might be happening?
Yeah, that's a good question about the time frame. Obviously, it depends a little bit on further support that I can get. Working together with a large car manufacturer, and they want to test it with one of their cars. You know, my background is I've worked for Ford for many years, so typically once they made a decision to implement it, it takes about 5 years. But we're also working on an aftermarket conversion kit because I think it's got the potential to be installed as an aftermarket conversion kit as well, at least certain components of it. Just a simple hose which basically is then an additional bypass in the lubrication system connected at the cylinder head and the oil sump, and in that hose we've got that valve. Obviously that needs a housing as well, which we haven't got here, to reduce the pressure like going downhill, and also in that bypass connected here is that exhaust gas heat exchanger. So we've got the exhaust flowing through here, and another valve which controls the opening of the heat exchanger or another bypass valve, and that utilizes the wasted heat from the exhaust.
At Deakin University, this is Debbie Meaney for News Geelong.
Thank you, Debbie. Community-based country football continues to strongly follow the catch cry, local footy is real footy. As this week, News Geelong visited Kardinia Park West, home to the St Mary's football and netball clubs in the Geelong Football and Netball Leagues, and spoke with club president John Young Jock McMahon.
Oh, look, it's been a very strong club, but that only comes from the people within it. The club's only as good as the people in it, and we've got some fantastic people in our footy club.
And you've really, when you look back through the history of the club, you've grown up as part of this. It's been in your blood since you were basically born, mainly thanks to your father, Jock, and a lot of members of Uncle Jock, should I say, and a lot of other members of the McFarm family.
Yeah, look, as a kid, and society's changed, but we would have to ride our bikes to footy training from East Geelong, and we'd ride home in the dark, but certainly kids don't do that of today. But it's the only club I've known. I left when I was 18 and played for Leopold for a year, and I just learned a little bit about another club, but nah, this is the only club my family's ever been super involved with.
In the Kardinia Park complex here in Geelong, and you're the only club in the central part of Geelong. How do you find it as a community club?
Oh, look, as a community club, I think society's changed, where kids of yesteryear would ride their bikes to sport and all that. Now families bring families here, and as a community, like I think our juniors are, if not the strongest, one of the strongest in Geelong, and as a community we supply our Auskick 9s, 10s, 11s, 12s. We've got great kids in all areas, and I think as a club we do a fantastic job for the community.
And one of the features here on match day, of course, is up behind the glass of the Don Matheson Pavilion is the Magnificent Seven. 7 of the past presidents of the St Mary's Football Club sit and watch each home game.
They do, and look, one day, and I've got a long way to go, but one day I'm going to sit on that table, and I don't have to be all 7 of them there, because Mr Matheson tells me he's the one that'll first drop off, but my mail is he'll never drop off from this footy club, ever.
Buck Rogers preceded you as president. How have you found stepping into the shoes and leading the club in what is becoming a difficult time?
Yeah, look, I reckon as a president, I'm a little bit lucky because I have got the Magnificent Seven there. And they have never left this footy club, so we get help and support all the time. And no, there'll be nothing for them to, one of them tap me on the shoulder and say, oh, look, you've missed this or you've forgotten that. And I don't reckon a lot of footy clubs have got that, and I reckon, me as a president, think it is fantastic that I have got the Magnificent Seven, as you call them, Rollo.
And the extensions to the facilities here, we've got the old Geelong Past Players Club stand from the Geelong Football Club over at Kardinia Park West, and these magnificent extensions to the facilities from last season.
Yeah, look, and that happened, the club rooms happened because of some great people, and like your Ash Vincent that organised it, Laurie Diamond, Basil, they're just fantastic people. That happened because of great people. It didn't happen. It happened with hard work. The past players stand, which I think is magnificent, just for somewhere else to sit. The Kardinia Park, they need to recognise what a great job they've done here, and it's a great facility, the whole lot.
And I can't let you go without asking the one question. 2011, you tipped for the Geelong Football League Premiership?
Bell Park.
Bell Park, you reckon they'll knock off the South Bowen Might and Power?
Oh, Bell Park, even last year, they weren't good enough on the day, but they were the best side we played last year, and to this day, they're still the best side we've played.
Thank you, John. This is News Geelong, Wednesday edition, as we go to a break and return with sport and weather after this.